Hi guys, and welcome to a new video on Sono's life. So as you can probably tell from the title of this video and my very tired look on my face, I am here with a review of the New Japan Resurgence tour. Well, the show. Now you might have been wondering, well, where was your preview? So I actually had a preview done, recorded, uploaded, but then literally like when I was gonna do it, one, I forgot, and two, by the time I was like, I'm going to post it, the card had completely changed. So I thought, well, we'll just have a look at some of the bits, go through the card, look at the results, and holy God, it was a very good show. It went 3.5 hours, so I got up at 5 minutes to 4 in the morning and went back to sleep at 7:30. So because it's quite a long card, I'm just going to have a quick dash through some of the early-ish matches, sort of like the pre-show matches, and then get on to the big, bulky, juicy matches. So let's get going. So obviously there was a dark match. I can't say what happened there because I wasn't there, but this was just the rundown if anyone didn't have a chance to sort of see the card. So it was the DKC, Kevin Knight, Jordan Clearwater against Barrett Brown, Mysterioso and Bateman. So like I said, I can't tell you much about it because it was a dark match, but Bateman pinned Jordan Clearwater for the win. Fairly predictable. Then we got onto the main card and we started off with, well, I won't say Young Lion versus Young Lion, but we basically had Frederick, so a graduate of the Young Lion dojo in LA, going against Alex Coughlin, who is one of the really only original guys from the LA dojo who hasn't graduated. And basically the whole idea behind this was if Carl got pinned by Alex, Alex would finally be able to get rid of his black shorts. Metaphorically, I feel like I always need to say this. Like, he's not literally taking off his black shorts because it's a bit sus. But yeah, if he managed to pin Carl, he would be a graduate now. Now, you could see that the stakes were high. From the very beginning, Alex was doing everything he could. We literally saw moves that you wouldn't normally see in a Young Lion. Normally, like even in a last match. And whatever aggression Alex had, Carl also had the same. You've got to think, these two have known each other for so long. They've trained, they've teamed together, they've been opponents. And yes, Carl might be the more experienced now, technically, because he's graduated. But he's still not that far into his career. A loss against a Young Lion would not be the best sort of stepping stone to get his career started. Now, as expected, Carl did get the win. However, it cut it very close. Let me just see. It was 10 minutes, 48 seconds out of the 15-minute time limit. And yes, it might not seem long, but the amount of action packed in it was amazing. It was like having a Young Lion start a match just with one person who wasn't a Young Lion. So it was a great way to start the show and really got the crowd pumping. The next match was another great match. We had a mix of veteran wrestlers and the new and upcoming in a 6-man tag. So on one team we had Fred Rosser, Rocky Romero and Wheeler Yuta versus TJP, Clark Connors and my boy Ren Narita. Now, once again, this match, and I'll say it about a later match, I think it's the next one. New Japan is perfect at protecting and showcasing their veterans, so like Fred Rosser, Rocky Romero and TJP, but also giving a platform for the new and upcoming people. So Wheeler Yuta, I have not seen much of him because I haven't been watching Strong that much, but he showed me some amazing stuff. Really promising junior heavyweight. Clark Connors, obviously I've seen him since he started in the dojo. He's gained a bit of weight, long locks, like, he came out in a crop top, like, yes. But once again, showing off his diverse sort of junior heavyweight style. And of course, Ren Narita, who we've seen him grow as he's been in the US, and it just makes me so happy to see him with these veteran guys who are very different to the guys he fought with in New Japan in Japan, so like the 3rd generation, Tanahashi and them. And it's been an amazing experience. Going into it, I had like this thing, I was like, oh well, isn't Narita going to get pinned because he's technically the only Young Lion there after Clark Connors graduated? However, like I said, it's New Japan giving the young talent a chance because Clark Connors actually pinned the veteran, the most lovable, the most coolest guy in the world, Rocky Romero. And you know what, it was a really nice match. It was great to see Fred Rosser, TJP's still got excellent style, but really for me, it's got me excited for the future of New Japan. Whether it's in the US or back in Japan, it's gonna be amazing. And back with that is the same with the next match. We had a 10-man tag, and like I said, there's a lot of them, so let me read them. We had Leo Rush, Chris Dickinson, Fred Yehi, Adrian Quest and Yu Uemura, yes, another one of my boys who you will understand why I'm so excited in a minute, versus Tom Lawler, JR Kratos, Danny Limelight, Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs. You can see I had to squint because I've not got my glasses on. But basically for me this match wasn't as good as the other matches, mainly because I don't know a lot of the names. So there are a few, so Adrian Quest, Danny Limelight, obviously Uemura, Leo Rush that I know from different promotions. The rest of them wasn't really my style. Like even the wrestling in it wasn't what I was used to from New Japan and things like DDT and Tokyo Joshi. However, once again we had the veterans, we had some new and upcoming stars really showcasing their skills. However, if you followed me on Twitter at wrestling_chat with my live tweeting, you'll see why I'm so excited. Technically Uemura is still a young lion. He's not even started his excursion yet. But he got the win, not over a up-and-coming, not over a young lion, over an established wrestler in Danny Limelight, who, like, he's beaten Rocky Romero. He's been everywhere. And honestly, I thought I was going to cry. Like, he got the pin, the Young Lion music came up, and afterwards it was a curious thing because Uemura did a really adorable promo in English introducing himself to the crowd. And unfortunately for me, because I thought that Uemura was coming to the UK, he announced that like Ren Narita, he was going to be joining the LA dojo for his excursion. You know what, it was amazing, and the fact that Uemura got the pin was literally, that was enough to get me like awake at that that god awful time. The next match, I think it felt like a bit of a filler match. It was Juice Robinson versus Hikuleo. Not really much to it. I guess it's probably some feud from New Japan Strong. It was an okay match. Hikuleo was very passionate and brutal and very tall. Juice got the crowd pumping and was really like exciting. And it's nice to see him back because like I said, I've not watched New Japan Strong and I've missed him. At the end, like I said, Juice got the win, but Hikuleo started beating him up. So I think we'll see this storyline progress. Not a bad match, but like in the midst of the rest of the match, the rest of the matches sort of got lost in the card. The next match, I saw mixed, I think, reactions from this on Twitter, but it was our boy Tomohiro Ishii versus the behemoth that is Moose. So I did some research for this, and there is a 26 centimeter difference between them. They are both big men, but if this is Moose, this is Ishii. But that did, why is there one thing we've learned is to never doubt the Stone Pitbull. It was an amazing match. Like, Ishii with this Never belt, we've seen a new side to him, a new passionate, sort of determined person. And you know what, Moose is big, he is powerful, he's very talented. But Ishii, probably seen as the underdog for most people, did not care. He was literally, hitting, clotheslines. He got the win in the end with the vertical drop brainbuster. He lifted a man up of that size. Even for Ishii, that wouldn't have been easy. If you like a match between two beefy men just punching and beating their shit out of each other, go back and watch Ishii versus Moose because you will not regret it. Next match, right. So this is a match that a lot of people are looking forward to in the sense of the name. It was Doc Gallows and the Machine Gun Carl Anderson versus John Moxley and a surprise partner. It was meant to be Shota Umino, but because he is in the UK at the moment and travel restrictions and things, it didn't work. So going into it, everyone was like, who is the partner going to be? Some thought it was going to be Sami Callihan. There was other names thrown. It might not have been exciting for some people, but it was for me. It was Yuji Nagata. I mean, a bit like the Juice Robinson versus Hikuleo, maybe because I don't watch things like AEW and Impact. For me, it didn't really make any sense. There was a good bit of wrestling, Yuji Nagata, as always, never ceases to amaze me at his age. Personally, it felt like a bit of a filler match for me. I wasn't really invested in it. Like I said, the wrestling was decent, but there was nothing that, stood out for me. In the end, it only went about 10 minutes. Of course, Yuji Nagata got pinned by Carl Anderson. The two started doing a promo after. Because the mic off, I don't actually know. I think the big thing taking out of that was after they stopped speaking, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa came out and they had a bit of a square off. So hopefully that's going to lead into something maybe at the upcoming shows or even Wrestle Kingdom. But yeah, on the grand scheme of things, another match which, considering how early it was, I could have easily probably fallen asleep during that. But yeah, the next match is obviously, people would have seen I was so excited. it was another saga on the Jay White versus David Finley bout. Now, it's been a bit of an odd one because I know there's been rumblings going around about Finley not renewing his contract with New Japan and going to NXT. But yeah, I mean, this probably might not have been the best one of their series that they've had like in recent times. But for me, I think it was probably one of the best matches on the card. Like, going into it, they were both on very level playing fields in a weird way. So obviously Jay still had 12 wins over Finley. However, Finley, with only 2, the most recent one was in the New Japan Cup, which was massively unexpected because Jay was literally on a roll in that. And it was one of those matches that I knew who I wanted to win in my heart. Yep. But I didn't know if it was going to happen, especially going into the match and as it started. For the first 5 minutes, it seemed like Jay, as obvious, was very dominant. Like, he was playing possum a bit, he was hitting his offense, you know, keeping it very much to the ground. However, I think around the 7-minute mark, Finley had this like newfound aggression. I've always said this about David Finley. One of his main strengths is his diversity in the ring. So yes, he is like a proper heavyweight. He can hit strikes, he can hit kicks, like he's very power based. However, because he started his career in New Japan after graduating from the dojo as a junior heavyweight, you can see sort of that bit more of a risk take, the bit more speed and athleticism compared to Jay. But what was interesting was that Jay also adapted his style. At one point we saw him go to the top rope. I mean, luckily he got stepped down. I was like, Jay, this is too much, no top rope. But there were some dangerous moments, like when Jay hit Finley onto the barricade, like the outside of the ring, the brainbuster from Finley onto Jay from the top rope, and just like the simple things. I've said this, they know each other so well. So there was reversal after reversal. And as always, you had those spine blistering chops from Jay. And it just, once again, they showed why, yes, they are 2 different people. Yes, they are 2 different styles. But when you put 2 people together who have so much history and know each other so well, it just works. And obviously I'm happy because in the end Jay retained and all was well in the world. It was quite weird because at the start of the match, like I think he was overwhelmed with emotions. He was like too sweet and everyone in the crowd. I was thinking, Jay, are you a good guy anymore? But literally like as soon as the match started and ended, Jay White was back in the building. Again, another interesting thing, Tomohiro Ishii came out after the match to challenge Jay and Jay was like, you're not getting it. But you know what? I will happily watch Jay versus Ishii again because if there's anyone that can bring the best out of any wrestler, it is Ishii. And to put that out there, I need to say, it was a pretty clean match. Apart from one moment when Jay hit Finley in the balls, which then Finley like returned by hitting Jay in the balls, it was a clean match and it shows Jay doesn't need Gato. He doesn't need the Bullet Club to put on a spectacular match. And the main event. So by this time, I was shattered. Like, it was about 7 o'clock in the morning. I was on like 3 hours sleep. But if one person can wake me up, it is the most handsome man in the world, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and he was wrestling Lance Archer for the IWGP United States Championship. Now, I've voiced my opinions on the US title before, and I was very happy with the idea of someone from New Japan coming to battle for the title. And it was a great match. I brought this up on several times. One of my favourite Lance Archer matches is from 2019 and his match against Tanahashi. And once again, yes, it was a slightly shorter match at 20 minutes, but both men showed such determination and grit. As expected, Lance did not give a shit. He was brutal. He had that Suzuki-gun in him, that he was going outside, he was willing to break the rule. I mean, on his ring entrance, he was beating up young lions. It's been a long time since we've seen Lance Archer do that. But like with Tanahashi, he still had that heart. He was going at it like 110%. We saw sling blades, we saw lariats, we saw chops. For someone who's not been watching AEW and Lance Archer, I got to see him walk the ropes again and do a beautiful back moonsault onto Tanahashi. Someone that size shouldn't be able to do something like that. But he did. And in the end, after not 1, not 2, but 3 high-fly flows, Tanahashi pinned Lance Archer to become the IWGP United States Champion. And yes, I've said Jay White is the first Grand Slam champion, but the first proper Ultimate Grand Slam champion, because unlike Jay, Tanahashi has also held the IWGP Heavyweight Tag titles and the Never Six-Man Tag titles. All he needs to do is drop some weight and become a junior, and he will literally have held it all. But it was afterwards that was really sweet. Lance took the mic and said, "From the minute I stepped on Japan soil, I respected you. I've always respected you. Here's my invitation. Come to AEW and I will fight you again," which Tanahashi agreed with. And it was a beautiful end to a really great show. And yeah, with the Ace winning, like Jay and the Ace with titles now, you can't go wrong. One other thing that I actually forgot about was Will Ospreay randomly turned up before, I think it was Jay's match, saying he was cleared. He wasn't going to be in the G1 or going back to Japan. He had a title, probably a replica of the heavyweight title, said he was still the real champion, Shingo's the interim, and then Clark Connor's Carl Fredericks, very nice outfits, came up and started beating him up. A very random part of a very good show. We'll see where that goes. I mean, yeah, apart from that confusion, because like I said, that really confused me, it was a really good match. Like, I got to see all my favourite wrestlers. And more importantly, it has built some really good storylines going forward. Like, I don't know what's going to happen because we have the G1 coming up very soon, in about a month. However, some of the big names from New Japan Strong, so like Jay, Finley and Juice, and now Ospreay, are confirmed to be doing shows in America at that time. But like I said, we've got Ishii, Tanahashi coming back with new purposes, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens. So, make sure to speak to me, talk to me about what your favourite match on the card was. Was there anything unexpected? What stood out for you the most? If you want to speak to me about all these things, make sure to write all your thoughts in the comments below and follow me at social media at wrestling_chat. Hopefully you enjoy the show as much as I did, and maybe you're not as tired as I am right now. But yeah, remember, if you like this video, please click the like button, hit subscribe and share this video with your friends. And I will see you guys soon. Bye!